morning. It is a magnificent day, which is a bit of a surprise because yesterday it was just raining for a full 24 hours. Woken up this morning and I don't suppose you can see, I think it's a bit whited out on the camera, but it is a blue sky, proper blue sky, which is glorious. And if you watched my vlog last week, you will know that I am at Johanna's, my sister's house, which is down in Hazelmere, which is kind of halfway between London and the south coast, in the UK obviously. And she has an absolutely gorgeous garden, and she also grows a lot of veg. So I took you here. I'm trying to remember what vlog it was that we first came down here. It was sometime last year, and we had a bit of a look around, and then we were going to come back in the summer. And it seems we haven't had much of a summer. This is the first opportunity, and the weather is shining on us, which is perfect. So I'm going to take you around. I'm going to do the vegetable side of the garden first. It's kind of split into two. I'm going to do the vegetable side of the garden first. We'll walk down that way, have a bit of a nose around at the end, and then stroll back up through the lawn and the flowers. Yeah. But my favourite thing about this garden is this terrace out here. It's like, so the house is that way and that's looking at the garden, and I mean, is there anywhere better to just sit and have breakfast? I don't think so. It's pretty nice. And above me, I'll show you in a second, I'll take you around, but it's just hanging with grapes. And on this side, there are so many hedge sparrows leaping in and out of the hedge that it's just like the whole hedge is moving. It's gorgeous. Right, I'm going to finish this cup of coffee, and then Johanna and I just walk you around the garden and we'll see what's what in the glorious sunshine. She also has a new friend living in the garden, so I will introduce you to him as well. Okay, coffee finished, and this is what's been above me. Look at these grapes, aren't they fantastic? I don't know what variety they are, and Johanna can't remember, but they're white grape, and we always get donated some every year because there's obviously masses of them here, and I can affirm they are delicious. So let's start at this end, looking down across the garden. Isn't that gorgeous? And we're so lucky with the weather. So up on the terrace up here, it says the garden is in 2 layers, and up on this bit, we've got various little bits of sedum and succulent growing on here, things that Johanna has taken cuttings of. A bits and pieces, all waiting to go out into the garden proper. A daphne. And these ones, doesn't this just remind you of sugared almonds? I love them. So first edible, we've got Tumbling Tom Tomatoes, and Johanna gave me a plant of this year, and it just did nothing. I put it in that terrible compost. But hers, as you can see, I mean, it's been got a bit by the blight now, but it's obviously been really fab. Looks fantastic. Absolutely gorgeous tomatoes for a hanging basket like this. Really lovely. And this is the first sneak of Johanna's new garden friend. Okay, so panning across, we have got the odd kind of chilli lurking up here. Here's a chap. And some orange thyme. Johanna gave me some of this orange thyme. I've got it in the little herb garden out the front of the polytunnel. It smells amazing. And there's some strawberries up here. I've left wood leaning against them because I've been messing around fixing things. But look at those, loads of strawberries. All my strawberries are finished, so this is lovely to see. Look at that, a perfect one. Beautiful. And a dahlia. The dahlias have been surprisingly fantastic this year despite the lack of sunshine. So the terrace up here has got loads and loads of pots and bits and pieces, and this is an alchemilla. And I was told when I first started gardening by this elderly woman that it's called alchemilla because these raindrops catch on it, and the alchemists used to use it as the purest form of water. I don't think that's true, but I love the story. And then we have a pineapple sage on top here, which are just gorgeous and smell incredible. So let's head down. So this main path is what kind of divides the garden between the vegetable side and the main flowery lawny side. A beautiful dahlia, That is such a strong colour. I don't know if it's coming through on the camera, but it's like retina burning, especially against those really dark leaves. Little choisia. I've just brushed my shoulder against that. It smells incredible. And another gorge. The first thing as you come down these steps into the kind of the other level of the garden is a little pond, which is really sweet. Got a water lily in there and these fabulous Agapanthus, which are just going over, but so many flowers. And there's a little white one over there. But the pond has got, water lily and all that. She's got the meshing over it so that wildlife doesn't fall in, which is pretty sensible because she's got hedgehogs around here. So we have a rhubarb. This area used to be like the herb garden next to the pond, but we've got this new enclosure in here now. There's still some herbs in here. We've got this like oregano and stuff, but this is the enclosure for Herman, and you will meet Herman very shortly. So on to the first of the real vegetables in the raised beds along this side. These are the kaleets. I think they look really good, but yesterday we took the netting off because we found a load of caterpillars on them, and Johanna was really not impressed by finding caterpillars.
Pulled all those off, but look at the holes. I mean, that's just lacework. It's all a bit sad. And the Brussels are tiny still.
I mean, they look a darn sight better than mine do. But with the caterpillars, it is just a case of just coming along and picking them off all the time. So Johanna was really none too impressed to have found caterpillars on these yesterday. But the problem being, it wasn't a problem with the netting per se, it's the fact that they got so tall they were pushing up against the top of the netting, and that just means that the butterflies can lay their eggs straight through the netting. But look, there's some great kaleets coming on here. They're going to be fantastic. They're not going to be damaged by those. They look absolutely perfect. Oh yeah, just a quick note about the nail varnish. My niece has been painting my nails, so that's why they look like that. I've also got this going on my toes. Quite the look.
Starving for sunshine.
So behind the kaleets are some Brussels sprouts.
And some leaves. So the slugs have had them. How many have I got left out of 10? One, well, if you call that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. It's really 6 and a bit. Yeah, that's really sad.
There is a sweet potato, same as mine. In fact, Johanna gave me the 2 that I've got growing on the allotment, and it's done about the same as mine has, which is pretty much nothing. Tree cabbages. These are looking pretty good. These really come into their own in spring, and by this time of year they do look a little bit sad, so you just kind of let them go now, and then you get the flush of flowers in the spring and then all the leaves in the early summer. So they're just kind of sitting there at the moment. There are some pretty sad looking pumpkins around here, I have to say, and courgettes, although that one looks pretty good. This one. And we've got patty pans up here. This is Bennington's Green Tint, which you will have heard me talk about as one of my absolute faves. I think it's a wonderful one. Followed by some spectacular chard. This is really very beautiful, and there are some leeks behind here. So the leeks are looking good. Unfortunately, this is some 9-star broccoli, which is the same as mine. Oh, get out of the way, leaf. And it is not looking so hot. Yeah, look, you see. But it's a perennial one, so pick all that off and keep it from being eaten again. It should recover, I've got faith. Look at these glowing chard stems, though. Is that not just a beauty? It is such a stunning vegetable. Some white onions underneath here. And then next to these white onions is something I'm pretty intrigued about. So it's not something I've ever grown before. It is called Minutina or Buxhorn Plantain. And it's definitely something I'm going to be growing next year because Johanna has raved about it. They've gone a little bit over now and they're flowering, but as a salad crop and as a leafy green, I've had a bit of a chew on one of the leaves, and because they've gone over, they're really tough now. But according to Johanna, they were absolutely beautiful and tender. They are definitely on my list for next year. Okay, so this is the second Brassica Bed, and Johanna threw her toys out of her pram earlier and ripped all the netting off because there was caterpillars in here as well, even though the plants weren't touching the netting. So she got very grumpy about this and pulled the netting off, but I'm sure the netting will go back on again shortly. But we have done caterpillar hunt, and this is a mixture of kale and Brussels sprouts and kind of a general Brassica Bed. Behind that bed, there is a Thornless Blackberry, which is in massive production. Look how much fruit is on this. They've got these really distinctive leaves. It's called an Oregon Blackberry. And so there's no thorns on it at all. And it is producing some beautiful blackberries. In fact, there are some ready. Look at that beauty. Oh, it's a love. There's quite a few of them just coming now. Behind the blackberry is the plum tree. So this used to be really huge. And Johanna reduced it by about a third last year, so it hasn't produced any plums this year, but the tree itself looks so much healthier, so that's fantastic. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is Herman. Hello, Herman. Herman is a 14-year-old tortoise who Johanna has recently taken into her home. Raspberries behind here. Raspberries, lovely, lovely, being pollinated as we speak. That's what we want. The raspberries have been amazing this year, actually. I've got to say, we've been picking so many back at home. Blueberry bush behind here. And now we're going to go into the greenhouse. So Johanna is particularly distressed by the state of her tomatoes, I will just warn you. But first thing is, if you watched my vlog last week, you will have seen that I was talking about a type of peat-free compost that Johanna's given me a bag of to try. And I've got to say, this is it. She's put perlite in it, so those bits don't come in it already. But this just feels so much better than that New Horizon wool I've been using. So I'm really looking forward to having a go with that. And some lettuces ready to be pricked out.
Tortoise food.
Tortoise food.
Tortoise food, so it's bound to be weeds, isn't it? Then?
This is Herman food.
You say weeds. I'm growing weeds.
In seed trays.
Yeah. But look what's happened since yesterday. This was not like that yesterday.
No. You got a good sized cucumber on there though, wow.
Look at this. That's all new.
So yeah, yesterday when we were in here, that wasn't like that. Yep. Oh look, you've got so many tomatoes on there though. They're so huge. Look at the size of them.
That's the Mamundo.
Yeah.
And the Roma is in the corner, was doing well till, well, now, look. That is completely gone.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to pull those off today and clear all that out.
God, everywhere you look is blight this year. You got some good chilies under there though.
I have, and your banana pepper
Look
is absolutely fantastic.
These look amazing.
Yes, I got a height in these ones, didn't I?
Yeah, I mean, these are so far ahead of mine. I've got some fruit on there, but they're just not colouring up. And I've just started picking them green, to be honest. But, yeah, a bit of a shame. But these are looking brilliant. Yeah, really lovely. There's a little aubergine behind there. Peekaboo. These are the Basque ones, aren't they?
Yes.
You see, they're so much more advanced than mine. Mine are just starting to do something now, not really reddening up at all. But yeah, I'm well impressed with this, Johanna. There's just loads going on in here. And look, lemon drops. So I gave Johanna these lemon drop seeds. They're my save seed from last year, and mine are nowhere near this good. They're going, aren't they?
They're going.
They're going, aren't they?
Wrong.
You got quite a good aubergine there.
Have I?
Little
Oh,
chap.
yeah, it's hiding.
He's quite good, isn't
Yeah,
he?
that-
And you've got loads more lemon drop in here. I've got no lemon drop.
I hadn't looked like that yesterday.
No.
So just...
Even though these tomatoes are obviously like on their way out, like proper blighty, there are some really good ones in here, and the tomatoes still look okay, like they haven't gone completely. These are all still harvestable. This is a gorgeous one. Unfortunately, it's got blooming bite out the top of it, but that's a great colour, isn't it? And this one, this is a heart tomato. Isn't that lovely? You can see why, it's a real heart shape.
Nardello.
These are so far in advance of my Nardello. This is the thing we didn't buy at the garden centre.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. It just magically appeared here. I don't know how that happened. Oh, what have we got over here?
Artichoke. And just otherwise cuttings.
Bits and pieces.
Yeah, ready.
Spring onions.
The only pumpkin that survived is up on a table. That's Crown Prince. Well,
I mean, there are Crown Princes coming.
there
Look.
is, but I don't know if they're going to get time.
Yeah, you've got quite a few. Look, you've got 3 on the end here.
Yeah.
If we do get some summer, There's a good chance.
Never known a year like it.
No.
Talking of natural predators, so okay, that's the courgettes, but it's behind you where the big deer came in. The one that came from Scotland.
Do you see that howl? There was a big deer's bum in there very recently. We'll get back to that in a minute.
So you know I lost half my fig when we dropped to -7 in May, and I had to cut it down. It was dead. I snapped it down to that. It has survived and recovered, but no figs, obviously.
But it's regrown.
But it's regrown.
And it looks really healthy.
It does. So hopefully.
It was a standard before, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
but
quite tall.
it was a good 3 foot taller than that.
Yeah.
But I actually snapped it. It was dry all the way down, so I cut it down to where there was life, and I've saved it.
Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah.
No, it looks really strong.
Yeah.
Courgettes. Oh, that's a very dark one. Is that Black Beauty?
Yes, it is. We've had quite a few.
Lovely.
Been all right with the courgettes. And we did have yellow ones. Haven't had any patty pans from the squash though. Nothing. This is just
Look at
an
this.
emergency bed,
Look
really,
at
but
that.
yeah.
Woo. So this is like at the back of the greenhouse is all nursery bed for things that are waiting for a permanent home.
I mean, August.
It's sad times.
It is sad. I've already blown and raked off loads off the lawn.
Yeah.
And it's August. So yeah, so if you can ignore the autumn leaves falling already. Sweet peas are good. Singing the blues.
Singing the blues. Lovely. And then we've got the little metropolis down the bottom here.
But it's all white. it is singing the blues. But
They're not singing the blues,
no,
singing the whites.
that white and pink. But still plenty of
Gorgeous though, loads.
Today. Unfortunately, I've lost all the radish, the slugs. I forgot to treat it. We'll stand here.
Is that another courgette or squash?
Distant memory of being a pumpkin.
Ah, a former pumpkin.
Yeah. So Jerusalem artichoke.
Yep.
Yep, that's nearly all been eaten by somebody else.
These are looking good though, aren't
They're
they?
looking good, and I have eaten half. They were,
they
that was
look
full, so I have eaten
fab.
6. You know, so.
You know, if you just chop them off, they just regrow. You can get 3 heads out of each plant. You don't have to take them out. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
And these are the Achocha. So I gave Johanna some seeds last year, which was saved from my ones that came from the Yorkshire Achocha pusher. Try saying that after a glass of wine. But these ones are not the same. These are called Fat Baby and they came from real seeds. And so I'm going to ask for some of these seeds from Johanna next year, so I'll be able to grow both, which is quite exciting. This is one of the harvests that I'm most looking forward to this year. Heading into the cold frame. Sea kale.
Sea kale, which hopefully will end up in the garden soon. And then just the parsley.
Plenty parsley.
Olives, cuttings. And my little babies, my little
babies.
seedlings. Yeah, foxgloves, which I will spend months separating those, won't I? And putting, well, they're really big. And then some more
Radisha.
spinach. And that's kale at the end, which I just fished a snail out of there, so that's why there's a few stalks. So hopefully that will recover.
I'm sure it will. I mean, they haven't been taken right off, have they? They've all got a bit of something.
And it was in there, so he got in.
Look at this, absolute glory.
Isn't that beautiful? It's an Annabelle, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, it's just, these are heads like. They're huge, aren't they? Ugh, just trod on a slug. Horror! Oh God, let's look at the strawberries. Strawberries. Yeah. Look at that beautiful pink flower. Last time when we were here, this bed was red currants, but they weren't doing very well, so they've been swapped out for these lovely strawberries.
Because I don't know where the bed. It's just really to get the wildlife into the area. The Jacob's ladder is looking fantastic. It has been, but... So yeah, so the Jacob's ladder has passed its best, but I'm still leaving it because the bees seem to be desperate. And there's still a little bit of life on there. There's something final about ripping it all out.
Yeah, it's a bit defeatist, isn't it? It feels like you're really accepting that it's...
August. Yeah.
So yeah, this is where the deer came through. And it wasn't a small deer. It was like, you know, Monarch of the Glen style.
Yes, it was. And ate all the flowers.
Fab.
Ate all the roses.
Wouldn't have thought they would eat roses, would you?
No, I didn't realise until I saw this. There's just a stem sticking up. I wouldn't have known that. So over behind there, where it's all blocked in, is where all the hedgehog houses are, and that keeps them in a private, dark area, so that hopefully, if anyone does come around with either a dog or anything, it won't find them.
We don't have hedgehogs in Richmond, so when I've been here before and like caught a glimpse of hedgehogs, or I say caught a glimpse, actually sometimes they're kind of like walking over your feet on the way back from the hot tub. But they're absolutely gorgeous. I love hedgehogs.
I need something tall here.
Something tall.
Tall and pretty. I need a colour and I need something tall. I don't know what to put in there.
If any of you have got any ideas, we're looking at something about 5 to 6 foot tall, pretty, and that would show up against this laurel. God, look how lacy these are.
Yes, that's unusual, isn't it, for a geranium?
Wow. They're like...
I'm a slug farm.
I'm a slug farm.
That's what I am. My sister, the slug farmer. That's what you should call that episode. Johanna's slug farm, interrupted by her plants.
So here we have the hot tub, which is currently having a break, having blown its fuse.
Yeah, cold.
Oh.
Tepid. At least there's no slugs in it.
Wouldn't that be horrific? Open that up one day.
Oh, you do get them. You get slugs and snails come up the sides.
A little orange geum of joy. Masses of verbena. And who's this? Handsomeness.
Have a close-up.
Hello, Gorge. Hello, Gorge. Oh, that is very close, Herman. Hey, nice boy. A gorgeous boy and a pink geranium. This is quite pink, this bed, actually. We've got these double-petalled anemones in here, looking lovely, and the tail end of a gorgeous boy disappearing around the corner. Agapanthus. This hibiscus has been with Johanna for as long as I can remember, basically. It's been to every house that she's been in, whether transplanted or via cutting or anything, and it is a magnificent beast. Magnificent. There's a slope here that leads back up to the terrace that's got loads of little bits and pieces in it. It's got this ajuga down the bottom, and then there's some more alchemilla. And that, coming this way past these steps, leads to this mixed hedging, which runs the whole length of the garden, which is a mixture of rhododendrons and ribes and honeysuckle and laurel, and it's absolutely alive with birds. It is fantastic. The sound of it in the mornings is incredible. So coming up this way, there's kind of 2 sets of steps and a ramp that takes you back up to the terrace and past this magnificent pink anemone forest. Beautiful. I love this garden, and I know Johanna's pretty miserable about the state of things this year with the lack of sunshine and the blight, but really I think it's looking fantastic. Hi, Roy. Hi, Roy. Ginger boy. Beauty boy. Oh yeah, he's a love, isn't he? Oh, he's a love. I think that's a pretty gorgeous garden. Sun's still out, managed to stay out for the whole of the recording, which is quite exciting. I feel like maybe gin and tonics on the cards, to be honest. Well, I hope you enjoyed wandering around Johanna's garden as much as I did. There's so much here, I wouldn't be able to cover it in one little vlog like that, so I'm sure we'll be back at some stage. Hopefully we'll see the hedgehogs next time. I'm heading home this afternoon, ready to get on with work back at the allotment, and I will see you on Tuesday for a proper allotmenting vlog. See you then, chaps. I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye bye.